it's mucky. So I'm going out to the barn. I'm not going to find very many eggs. Tristan came in with like 4 duck eggs and a bunch of chicken eggs. So we are basically, there's a goat. Ma. No, we don't have any more cookies. They were just chowing down on cookies. So I'm probably not going to find a ton of eggs. But what are we doing today? I think we're making risotto for supper. And I have to make some bread because I'm out. I may have to make some more butter. That might be able to wait until tomorrow. But I definitely have to make some more butter either today or tomorrow because we used it all. Yes, we go through a whack ton of butter. Oh, this is muck. You have to be so careful walking out here right now. And you really have to watch when you're on snow that you think is safe. Hi. I almost slipped. Sorry, I scared you there, man. I was slipping. But you really have to watch it because things are really slippery. Like crazy slippery. So that's why I'm walking where the pony walks. I don't have any more cookies. He was just eating a whole bunch of cookies. He and Arwen. We had them out. I was doing a video on trimming ears, which he doesn't love. Also, if you're wondering where the rabbit is, there she goes. She's over there doing her rabbit thing, the way rabbits do. I'm going the long way, only because it's a little less mucky this way. Also, stuff on the ground we don't need. It's a little less mucky if I walk around. So I don't think I'll find any duck eggs. You're crazy. I don't think I'll find any of these eggs. Oh, there is a silky egg. Go us. There is a silky egg. I wonder if it's broken. Turkey, turkey, turkey. Well, at this point, I accidentally turned off my mic with my finger. So it is no audio from here on out for this segment. But basically, I was talking about whether or not I thought the silky egg was cracked. It turns out, yep. I had seen the crack as I was rolling it out towards me. I thought I had seen the crack. I wasn't sure if it was a crack or if it was just a shadow, but it turns out it definitely was a crack. And there definitely were no other eggs because Tristan came into the house with a lot of silky eggs. Like, a lot. He had a lot of eggs between the silkies and the ducks and the regular layers. He brought in quite a few eggs. They all laid pretty early before I was out. So there's the rabbit. There goes Trunk. That's what we're talking about. And I just tossed that broken egg behind me. But, yep, Trunk is still running around. We don't have a problem with that, really. Does she have babies under the barn? We don't know because we can't really get to where she's going. Because we can't really get to where she's going, we can't verify whether or not she has babies under the barn. So, because we're just not sure, we can't really grab her and put her away in the pens, even though I could have grabbed her. Several times over the last week or so, she has been like right next to my feet. But if I grab her and she has babies under there, they're still young enough that they need their mom, they would die. So, yeah. And here I'm going to complain about the muck because there is so much of it. Like, you have no idea. There is so much muck. If you've ever been on a farm in the spring, you know exactly how much muck there is. Everything is muck. Everything is melting. It is so annoying. It's probably the most annoying time of year on a farm. I know everybody loves spring. Oh, it's warming up. It's being wonderful. But on a farm, you really, really do not enjoy spring that much. Yeah, you're glad it's getting warmer, but there's all the muck and all the water. And where we are, there's overland flooding and spring migration, birds starting to migrate, and we live near a lake. Every once in a while, someone gets bird flu near us. Not a person, chickens, like birds. We've not had a human be diagnosed with it where we are. I know there have been humans diagnosed with it not where we are. But every year there's like one who ends up with bird flu because we're in that area. We have migratory birds. So this is what I'm complaining about in this particular section, that spring is not that much fun on the farm. You're going to hear me complain about that a lot in the next couple weeks as we wait for this snow to melt. I mean, lots of it's melted. Look at how much has melted, despite that snowstorm we had on Friday. This has been crazy amount of snow for the end of March, beginning of April. But it is melting. The problem is this much snow melts and we're going to have overland flooding. So that's just one of the many reasons why spring isn't that much fun on the farm. And I'm also starting to talk about the plan for the day here. Our plan for the day was pretty laid back. Basically, I'm just talking about how I need to make bread, and we're probably making risotto for dinner. We decided not pizza because we had pizza yesterday, and 2 pizza nights in a week is a little much. So even though Thursday is normally pizza night, it was a little bit much. And over here, I am walking out this way because I wanted to show you that we have moved Silverado because he's not really getting along. He's just not. So you can see we have our 3 pens. We have the boys, and in the middle there is a pen that was empty. See those? That's the boys. That's the girls, and in the middle is Silverado. He's just not been getting along, really. He's just not. He doesn't get along with the other boys, mostly because he wasn't raised with them, right? So sometimes it's hard to integrate boys that were not raised together. They'll just want to fight. So he's separated into his own pen. He's near everybody. He really likes to be near everyone. That's fantastic. We love him for that. So he wants to be with the other rabbits. He just can't be in the pen with the boys. So he's got his own pen between the boys and the girls, so he can still be near the girls and enjoy his time with them, because he's just not getting along with the boys. So he can be near the girls, not with the girls, because we don't want them constantly pregnant all the time, which is what would happen. As we build the new pens, we are going to build so that we have spots for boys that don't necessarily get along with other boys, just so we can separate the ones that we don't necessarily want interacting with each other. Anyway, at this point, I am getting ready to go inside because I have bread dough. And we absolutely love our bread dough. Well, my bread dough is finished rising. So what I'm doing with my bread dough is I really want sandwich bread for grilled cheese. So I just need to pinch it all together, make it uniform. Just a uniform log will do, because I'm using this fancy square pan that has a lid. And the reason I'm doing that is because it's perfect for grilled cheese. It's literally perfection. So yes, I'm using a cooking spray. Shush about it. There's nothing wrong with cooking sprays. Drop that in, spray here. Grilled cheese is fantastic. So we are making a loaf that can be grilled cheese later. So I'm just going to set this aside, let that rise for a bit, and hopefully we will come back when it's time to bake it. Because right now it's actually time to go back outside and see if there's any eggs. There's probably not any eggs, I'll warn you ahead of time, because Tristan already brought in a ton of eggs, and the dogs are going absolutely bonkers in the living room. So I don't know what they're doing or why they're doing it, but they're going a little bit bonkers. Tequila, are you nuts? Are you nuts? Yeah, are you nuts? Are you gonna come here because you're nuts? Oh, that's my girl, and my other boy, and my big, oh my goodness, we have so many doggos. Oh my goodness, everybody's crazy. They're nuts. If you get their attention at the wrong time, they go crazy. Anyway, I'm gonna head outside. Now they're fighting in the living room. Why is everyone in the house? Are we all in the house for any particular reason, or did we just decide this was house time? Whatever. They're not usually all in the house at the same time. Vodka's attacking tequila. It's really funny. Anyway, we're going to head outside and check for eggs, which we probably won't find any of because Tristan brought in a whack ton twice. So it doesn't hurt to check. And I do have to just kind of do a check on the animals, make sure everyone's accounted for, make sure everyone's looking pretty good. Good idea to do body condition checks. So let's go do that. Well, it's time to go out and check on eggs. We're not going to find any. We're not going to find any eggs. But while we're out here, I'm going to show you what I do to just check body condition. If Arwen is standing up, that'll be easier. If she's lying down, I won't be able to show you what I do with her legs. But every couple of times a week, you really should check their body condition. Because checking their body condition basically just means they're not losing weight, they're not gaining weight. Unless they were underweight, then you want them to gain. But you just want to make sure they're in the correct shape. So even like our turkey, there he is, our turkey. Even our turkey here, you want to make sure that he is healthy, that he is hardy, that he's not underweight. So when I was picking him up earlier, we were checking to make sure his breastbone is not prominent, but it's also not completely obscured. We don't want him like chonky, right? We don't want him chonky. We just don't. So because we don't want him chonky, we also don't want him skinny. We want him in the middle. So we were checking to make sure that he's got good body condition, checking his feathers for any sign of mites, checking his legs for any sign of scaly leg mites. You never know, right? You never know. You want to make sure, ooh, this is slick. You want to make sure everybody is healthy and in good body shape. So I'm not going to do Shadowfax because he's standing in the mud. I don't want to stand in the mud. Also, the ducks are under the picnic table. They like the picnic table. I'm not sure why. But Shadowfax is standing in the mud. I don't want to stand in the mud. So we're going to go see if we can find Arwen. She's probably in the barn. She doesn't like muck. Unless I've got cookies. She's not coming out. I didn't bring cookies. I'm walking not in the muck. I'm looking for raised areas or little bits of snow that are still frozen and not mucky. I don't like muck. I don't expect to find any eggs. I really don't. We're not going to find any eggs. That's okay. Tristan brought in pretty much all the eggs we're going to find today. He had handfuls of them. So we have a bunch of chickens. Whole bunch of chickens. Right? Whole bunch of chickens. There's a whole bunch out through the door as well. And there's a couple over here in the doorway. I'm surrounded by chickens. I'm surrounded. That's it. End of the world. End of the world is here. Too many chickens. Doesn't matter. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Anyway, Arwen is here lying down. So I'm just going to kind of show you what I do. Everyone does it differently. Okay, so when I'm checking body condition, first of all, you run your hands over the goat face, which is so cute. So cute, baby. You check the ears, see if there's any sign of any kind of mites or infection, which there's not. You check the gums and see if there's any like paleness, and she's not pale. And you kind of check the fur, see if she's got any sign of lice or mites. She does not. Her fur's a little dirty, but there's no sign of lice or mites. You make sure she's not skinny. She's not skinny. She's not what I would call fat. She's a little rotund, but she's not skinny. And you just kind of do all the checks, make sure she's feeling good, make sure she doesn't have any diarrhea, all that kind of stuff. Then you wonder why chickens are staring at you like that. They're creepy. Creepy chickens. Creepy chickens. That's what's going on. And we got Sauron doing his chicken thing. There you go. But basically what you're doing, moving that, here's Shadowfax. So when it comes to Pony, you do basically the same thing. He doesn't want me to touch him right now because I was filming him earlier. But basically, you want to do the same thing. You check his ribs. Does he feel skinny? You pull out, well, he's shedding, so it's easy to pull out. You pull out some hair. Is there any sign of lice or mites? Like, you can look on the hairs and go, is there any lice eggs? There's not. So you're like, oh, okay. And then you check along his back, see if there's any sign of lice or mites. There's not. It's like, don't touch me. But you just do all that kind of stuff. You check his eyes. Is he bright and happy? Are his nostrils clear? He's like, don't touch me, Mom. Are his nostrils clear? Is he sounding good? Like, does his breathing sound weird? It doesn't. But you're just checking, right? You're just checking. So on his back, you can get in here and you can be like, oh, is there any like lice or mites right in there? Like, get right in there and look. He's leaving. He's like, I'm so done with you. So you should check the body condition of all of your guys. I do that a couple times a week. Okay, just make sure that nobody is looking weird, feeling weird. No one's sounding weird. I like to get up close with all the chickens, make sure no one's like raspy. You don't want someone breathing funny, because if they're I'm being stalked. But you don't want someone breathing funny because you've got goo on you, but you don't have any bugs. So that's what you're looking for, right? Do you have any bugs? You don't. But you want to make sure no one sounds raspy. Here comes a turkey. It is so mucky right there. I don't know why the chickens are walking through it. Like, just don't walk there. Whatever. I just threw something that didn't go far enough. But you want to just make sure everyone's looking and feeling good, sounding good. Nobody sounds weird. Because if someone is sounding weird, that could mean that they're sick. And we don't want anyone sick on the farm. And if we do have someone sick and I don't know what to do about it, we call the vet. If I do know what to do about it, then we simply open the gate. There's like slick mud right here. But if I do know what to do about it, then we do it. If I don't, we call the vet. Because we do not want anybody sick or unwell. Right? We want to make sure everyone is healthy. This snow is collapsing under my feet. It really needs to melt. It can't snow anymore. Snowing has got to be illegal at this point. Just to know, it's April 3rd. It's April 3rd today. I think this video is posted April 4th on the morning, but this was filmed on April 3rd. It's April 3rd. And look at this nonsense. Look at this nonsense. Look at all the snow. Look at that. So it has to stop snowing. But body condition is so important of all your animals. Of your rabbits, handle them. Do they feel weird? Do they feel different? Are they too bony? Is somebody sick? Don't just let them languish. Figure out if they're not feeling well and then fix it. Maybe sometimes it's not that they're sick. Sometimes it's simply that someone is thin because nobody else would let that guy have any food. We've had that happen. That's one of the reasons Silverado is moved. Okay, Silverado is in that middle pen with the rabbits. He's in that pen right there, the middle one. And the reason he's in there is because he is not getting along. So I'm worried that he'll get skinny because nobody's letting him eat. Well, that's not a good thing. Sometimes it's something as simple as that. He just needs more groceries. Okay, that's fine. Do that. But if you don't check, how are you going to know if they have different behaviors? So behaviors that you're not necessarily used to seeing from that animal, right? If they're different, they're acting different, there might be something wrong. Check. This is something I like to do a couple of times a week, just to kind of keep tabs on what's normal. Because if you don't do the checking when they're well, you won't know what well looks like, right? And you need to know what well looks like. Do they feel okay? Are they feeling okay? Are they sick? You don't know if you don't know. There's cat. But you don't know, there's Gwen. Hi, Gwen, baby. But if you don't know what, I don't know what that sound is. There's Gwen. But if you don't know what they feel like when they're well, how are you going to know what they feel like when they're sick? Okay? So 100% you want to be checking. Just make sure they're okay. It's important for their health and your sanity and for your pocketbook, because if you don't catch something soon enough, I guarantee you it's going to cost you a whack ton of money at the vet. So if you catch it soon enough, maybe you don't need the vet, or maybe you will need the vet, but it won't cost as much because you acted early. So let's make sure to check our animals' body conditions every single time. Okay? A couple times a week. Get to know what they feel like when they're well, what they look like when they're well, what they act like when they're well. Then you'll notice any changes. Anyway, let's go inside, worry about dinner. Well, the dough is pretty much risen. When it starts to touch the top of the lid, then it's ready to go in the oven because it will continue to expand and fill the pan, fill the top corners of the pan as it bakes in the oven. So I'm just throwing it in the oven at 375 for about 25 minutes, 25 to 30, depending on how dark I want it. And then it will have to cool. Definitely has to cool. So we're going to throw it in the oven. We're going to start worrying about risotto because that's what Tristan would like to do for dinner tonight. And after that, what am I doing after that? Maybe nothing. Maybe having some dinner and going to bed. It seems like I'm not accomplishing a lot, and that's mostly because of the weather. The weather has been really crummy between blizzards, more snow, and now it's really mucky outside. It is hard to accomplish anything. We're accomplishing just what we have to accomplish, giving food, giving water, keeping everyone healthy. Everything else we've just kind of put by the wayside until the weather gets a little bit better, because the weather is nonsense right now. It's supposed to be fine through next week, it's supposed to be warmer, and then hopefully the week after it's warmer yet and we get past this. So if in a week and a half we could have less snow or even no snow, that would be fantastic. But for right now, we kind of are in a mucky, gross situation. The spring is the time where nothing gets done until the ground dries a little bit, just because you can barely even walk without slipping outside. It's not safe for you to do stuff. It's difficult with all the snow and ice. It's just ridiculous. So we're going to see what we can do. But for the most part, we are just kind of existing and doing a lot of baking, a lot of cooking, a lot of indoor stuff, or even just outside stuff where stuff's already melted. Doing a lot of that while we just kind of wait for things to dry, honestly. There's not a lot else we can do. You just have to wait for the ground to dry. So we are going to bake this bread. Then we will come back and see how it looks. We do have to let it cool completely before we cut it. Otherwise, it won't be as good as it could be for sandwiches. So we'll come back. Well, we have risotto being made here on the stove. That's Tristan making it. He makes an excellent risotto. The trick with a risotto is you've got to keep that rice moving, and you have to keep adding water until the rice stops absorbing it. It's actually an excellent dish. He's making a curried risotto, so it's got curry and turmeric and garlic and salt, pepper, all those good things. He's added things like mint because he likes mint. He is going to add some more liquid because it needs more liquid. There he goes. So he has added good things like his chives that he enjoys, all these good things. He really enjoys making a good quality risotto. We'll zip back once it's done so you can see what it looks like all plated up. And there it is. Delicious, delicious risotto. Perfect and tasty. Tristan really enjoys making risotto. He uses the correct rice. He does all the right things, keeps it moving, and it always tastes just perfect. We'll come back as soon as I cut the bread. Well, The bread is ready to slice. It's been cooling, sitting for a while. Now I'm slicing it. This is just my bread slicer. It helps me get nice, even slices. And the real trick with slicing bread in this is let the knife do the work. Short, gentle strokes. Don't push it. Okay, if you push it, you're going to end up ripping the bread. So you just let the knife do its thing. Then you get nice, even slices. Just go slow. There's no point in rushing. If you rush your cuts, it won't work out. And you end up with nice, perfect slices, just like that. Nice thickness, delicious tasting. And yep, we all love them. We love our bread here. We love our sandwiches. And I'm looking forward to having some grilled cheese tomorrow. So I am slicing the entire loaf. So what I'm doing today is I'm slicing the entire loaf, which I don't normally do with bread. But I am this time. And the reason I'm doing that is mostly because what I'm going to do is put it in the bag and then let it sit overnight, which is not normally what I do. Normally we eat it fresh, but grilled cheese is actually better with bread that's been sitting overnight. So that's just what I'm doing. Anyway, today was a pretty nothing day. I mean, yeah, we made risotto. Yeah, we made some bread here. But for the most part, nothing really happened. Like I said earlier, the weather is a bummer. The weather's just, interfering in everything. We can't really get done what we want to get done because, frankly, every time we try, it snows some more and it's so wet. There comes a point in the spring where you just have to trust Mother Nature and make sure that you are waiting long enough to make sure that you don't hurt yourself or set something up that's dangerous for an animal because you weren't ready to set it up because not enough snow melted. There have been cases where people go and they set up pens, but there's so much snow that those pens end up collapsing. So it's really important in the spring that sometimes you just have to be patient and wait. Sometimes you can't be too quick. Sometimes you just have to take your time, which is fine. We don't mind taking our time. It's okay to take your time. So that's what we're doing right now is we're just taking our time. There are things we want to do, projects we want to get started. But for now, we're just doing a lot of baking and having a lot of fun indoors, even outdoors, but not where things are so wet because you end up just regretting it. So, yeah, my recommendation in the spring, if your yard looks like ours, be patient. It goes away. It eventually dries up. Even semi-dry. Like, if the snow would melt and it would dry up halfway, that'd be good enough. So my real recommendation in the spring is to have a little bit of patience, deal with the spring melt and the runoff and the minor flooding and sometimes the major flooding as best you can, and just wait it out before you launch your big projects. You have all summer and all fall to get big projects done. Sometimes it's just better to calm down, take a minute, and make sure that everything is as cleaned up as it can be. And you can't do a lot of cleanup in the spring until the snow is gone and some stuff has dried up. But make sure everything is as cleaned up and ready as can be before you actually start your projects. So that's the mode we're in right now. Waiting around and hoping that the sun comes out and the temperatures warm up and the snow melts and some of the ground dries. We did get quite the dump of snow last week. Even though it was right at the end of March, we still got quite the bit of snow. So we do have to wait for that to melt. It was literally almost melted, and then we got 2 feet of snow. What are you going to do? Mother Nature kind of calls the shots here. So we're just going to be patient. Hopefully a week and a half, and we can actually get some stuff done. Anyway, tomorrow, or really later today, because this is released in the morning, I will be live streaming and taking some questions, talking about projects on the farm that we're hoping to get done this month. So definitely come and join us and check that out, see what's going on. Mostly I'm just going to be sitting and taking some small questions. I have some already that people have given me, questions that are really too small to do as my weekly update, but not big enough, and also not big enough to do a farm fights. Like, they're little questions that only take a minute or two to answer. So mostly I'm going to be answering questions like that tomorrow. So, or literally later today after this is released. So definitely tune in. We're going to start live streamings on Fridays with a different kind of theme each week. We're going to start doing that. So make sure to check that out because it'll be a lot of fun. I'll be answering as many questions as people choose to give me, either in advance or during the live stream itself. But for now, I'm going to finish slicing this bread, put it away for tomorrow so I can make some grilled cheese for lunch, because I think that'll be a lot of fun. Rowan is having a friend over, so it'll be nice if we have grilled cheese as something everyone enjoys. So it's good to serve something everyone likes instead of me making one of my random things that not everyone loves. Grilled cheese is the way to go, especially with teen boys. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. So for now, we are going to finish slicing, go to bed, and get up bright and early because I actually do have a bunch of stuff I have to do tomorrow. I'm not sure how much of it I'll film because a lot of it's just kind of little here and there things, but it's definitely stuff I got to do. So we'll see you tomorrow.